It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Wednesday, the 31st of January. I'm Michael Groff, closing out the month on a warm note. Once again, temperatures well above normal this afternoon, but a major pattern change, as advertised, will be taking place starting tomorrow across much of North America, and that's going to lead to increasing clouds and rain chances coming in here by tomorrow evening, overnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. Rain will be widespread, could see some locally heavy rain, isolated thunderstorms, and, of course, snow up north. A bit of a break anticipated this weekend, maybe into Monday, but then a much more significant rain event could occur next week. Of course, there's a lot of question marks surrounding that, but we will talk about it as we dive on in. First, here's that almanac from yesterday. A repeat of Sunday with an afternoon high of 81 degrees, that morning low of 54, 2 days in a row. 69 and 47 are the averages, record high 82 back in 2018. All right, as we take a look out there right now, just past 10 o'clock, we've got partly cloudy sky. We've got 64 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 39, 39% the humidity, wind light, barometer is steady. Upper level weather pattern across the nation shows the development of an omega block beginning across North America. We've got a trough in the east. We've got a ridge scooting eastward toward the nation's midsection, but still covering us here in the southwest, and a developing trough just off of the west coast. And of course, obviously, that's going to be what affects us tomorrow and into Friday, and that major pattern shift that I talked about. The watch warning map, of course, in anticipation of this system coming into the west, we've got winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, high wind warnings for the Intermountain West, the Great Basin, the California coast. Got some flood watches posted as well. Snow for the Sierra, the Cascades. Obviously, this is going to be a big event. No advisories for us at the moment. But of course, we'll watch for some winter weather advisories and whatnot posted for northern Arizona eventually. Convective outlook for today. No organized areas of severe weather around the nation, though a little bit of thunder is possible for the California coast with that system coming on in. And here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Wednesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, right around an inch, maybe a little bit more than that in some spots. Obviously, higher amounts just to the north and east of us over the favored upslope areas. Maybe an inch of rain for the Las Vegas Valley. And, of course, heavier rain for the Southern California coast. And obviously, further to the north and west of us, those rain amounts will be heavier also. And we are looking at a pretty significant change in the weather pattern, and we're going to detail that right now as we take a look at the models, see what's going on. Here it is. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Ridging still in control here across the west, and so what it means for us down at the surface for today. Mostly sunny this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. High temperatures still warm, mid-70s to about 80 degrees. Very similar to what we saw the last couple of days. It'll feel rather spring-like out there. Now for tonight, partly cloudy, overnight lows, mid-40s to low 50s. And look at all that rain off to the west of us, though. From Central California on north, some heavy rain. San Francisco up to Eureka, Medford, Portland, Oregon. I mean, just the rain will be coming down for sure, and snow for the higher elevations. Now here we go to tomorrow. All right, clouds are going to be on the increase here, and so we'll see rain across coastal Southern California, moving into the Southeast California deserts, knocking on the door of Western Arizona by early to mid-afternoon up toward the Las Vegas area. But the majority of the day here in Phoenix should be dry. Partly cloudy in the morning, mostly cloudy in the afternoon. Yeah, we could see a shower by late afternoon here, but I think for the most part, the rain will hold off through the daytime hours. And high temperatures will fall back a bit, not quite as warm, but still probably managing to get into the low to middle 70s. Now, this is 11 p.m. tomorrow evening off the GFS. By that time, the prefrontal band of rain will be coming on in here. We got this wave coming in at a negative tilt, so it'll be a very dynamic system. It does not have the highest amount of moisture possible, but still decent amounts of moisture here. So rain will become widespread as this comes on in. Again, for the most part, the rain will be light to moderate. We're not anticipating a widespread deluge here. With rain amounts across Southeast California, Southwest Arizona on the order of 1/4 of an inch. A few spots we'll see higher than that. Here in South Central Arizona, again, looking at about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch with isolated higher amounts possible. Now, we will see the possibility of a few thunderstorms as this front approaches us early in the morning hours on Friday. And obviously, any thunderstorms would help to enhance rainfall amounts, and they'll be higher, of course, in the favored upslope areas with that southwesterly flow in the low levels. So just to the north and east of Phoenix, rain amounts will be higher, and the snow level right around 5,000 feet. All right, now here's Friday. And again, as this system moves east, the rain doesn't completely end. We'll still see some scattered showers around. We'll call for a 40% chance of rain for the day on Friday. Partly sunny sky, high temperatures much cooler. That'll be the other big headline with this. We'll go from highs around 80 today. We'll probably struggle to make it to 60 degrees on Friday. I'd say highs upper 50s to low 60s. And again, breezy conditions too. So it'll definitely feel very different out there. I've got shorts and a t-shirt on today. We'll be back to the pants and maybe even a light jacket for Friday. And then certainly Friday night, Saturday morning, it'll be chilly. Lows upper 30s to mid 40s. Highs on Saturday should top out in the mid 50s to about 60. And there could be an isolated shower across northern or eastern Arizona, but here in Phoenix, we should stay dry with partly sunny skies. Same thing Sunday, partly sunny. Highs, I'd say probably sneaking back into the low to middle 60s. We'll see more warm air advection, but look what's happening off to the west, deepening upper low out there. And the rain will really begin in earnest once again for coastal California. Up into the Sierra, they'll see some snow coming on. In the valleys of California should start to see some rain too by later in the day on Sunday. But for us, again, it's a dry day. Now Monday is actually looking like a drier day for us. We will still, of course, see clouds around. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy, and high temperatures warming up a little further, upper 60s to low 70s with southwesterly flow. Plenty of rain for California, snow for the higher terrain, rain and snow for the Great Basin, and up into the northwestern states. Maybe rain coming in toward Las Vegas by late in the day on Monday. But again, we should stay dry Monday as models are beginning to focus in on Tuesday and beyond for the better rain chances for us. Speaking of, let's go to Tuesday, and here it is. By late in the day on Tuesday, I do think rain will start to become widespread with that low out there, and it's going to take its sweet time moving on in here. So we can see these little disturbances rotating around it, and of course, with deep southwesterly flow, the moisture will increase. This will have a lot more moisture than the system coming through here tomorrow night and Friday morning. So this could be a prolonged rain event, maybe a significant rain event. Now, again, it may not rain nonstop. We'll see these periods of rain coming in, again, for us in Phoenix, by late in the day on Tuesday. But the rain will arrive much earlier than that the further west you go. And as for the risk of thunderstorms, yeah, it's a possibility at this point, though. Maybe not so much. We'll have to watch and see how the thermodynamics with all of this plays out. But obviously, we could, of course, see a thunderstorm or two here. All right, now, high temperatures are going to fall back a bit with this, too, although maybe not extraordinarily cold, but highs will be back in the 60s. Here's a week from today. This is Wednesday, the 7th, and that system is slowly meandering east. And as it does, of course, the core of the jet dynamics, all the deepest moisture will be in here, so we'll see widespread rain on Tuesday night and Wednesday. Again, if this plays out, obviously the timing will probably change a little bit. We'll fine-tune this forecast between now and then, but that's how it looks at this point. So at least a couple of days of unsettled weather, but let's go out 10 days. This is Friday, the 9th of February. Now that first trough is moving out to the east, but signs of a short wave dropping in from the north. Now, ordinarily, those are fairly dry systems, but there'll be plenty of antecedent moisture here, moisture that's already in place from this system. So we could still see rain and mountain snow. Now, the snow level may come down a little bit with that system coming in from the north. It's a colder system, but still, chances of rain will be with us. So we could really be looking at chances of rain from Tuesday through next Friday and maybe beyond that. And again, it's not going to rain nonstop. Okay, this will not be that kind of a setup, but it will be an off again, on again kind of rain, maybe more on again than off for much of next week from Tuesday onward. And of course, for coastal California, for much of California, the risk of flooding will be very high. For us, the possibility of flooding probably going up into the moderate range, perhaps, by the middle part of next week. And again, obviously, that will be fine-tuned as we get closer. Speaking of rain, look at this. Rainfall for Phoenix out through the 14th of February. This is off of the GFS Ensemble. Oh boy, the mean is well over 2 inches here. In fact, the mean getting pretty close to 3 inches on this ensemble. That's very interesting. And again, I'm not really big on talking about specific rain amounts 2 weeks out, but the idea of well above average precipitation and a significant widespread rain event sure looks more likely now for next week. And the European ensemble is very similar, with amounts about 2.5 or just over 2.5 inches, and individual members higher than that. So again, significant rain is possible, and that's the message that we want to stress here as we go into next week. We don't do hype here. We're not going to talk about, there's going to be a major flash flood, any of that, okay? But just know that that's a possibility, and obviously across California, that's a major concern, and that's becoming a likely concern there. So if you know people in California, you want to talk about, maybe take some precautions. San Diego, certainly the mountains there of southern and central California, the valleys of California, all the way up to Eureka, and even up into the Pacific Northwest, but especially in California, the threat of high elevation snow and significant snow and significant rainfall in the lower elevations and flooding is looking very likely for next week. And looking at temperatures off the national blend of models, obviously today is our last really warm day. We'll be close to 80. But then cooling off quite a bit tomorrow and especially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and much of next week. High temperatures. Again, we may poke back up into the 70s on Monday with that system, the southwesterly flow out ahead of it. Some warm, moist air advection here. But then for the most part with rain, highs will stay in the 60s. But lows will be rather mild, mostly upper 40s and 50s with the higher moisture content around. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really like what we do here, you want to support us monetarily, click that little thanks icon below the video, make those monetary contributions if you're so inclined and so able to do so. But they do help us continue this channel. And the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle, so check her out. And there's even a possibility I could be contributing over there to Sweet Child at some point. So be on the lookout for that. But more importantly than any of that, the big announcement: the streaming station is back. Many of you may remember we had an online streaming station. We brought it back a couple years ago. We had some issues, but it is returned once more. So I encourage you to check that out. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music over there. In fact, everything plays here. So go check that out. Michelle and I work on that station, and so a lot of music, a lot of fun. So do check that out. I will link all of that, Michelle's stuff, our station, all of it is going to be linked up down there in the description, so do check that out. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support, so greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Wednesday.